do athletic programs receive yearly, like your wrestling program, from national, state, and local agencies?
Well, let's see. We'll start with shoot. Back home, there isn't any like funding directly earmarked for sports that I know of. Pretty much, it's
Greetings, Fourth Branch viewers. Today we have Mr. Keitani Graham. He's a Chiquis wrestler. Today, this is a follow-up interview. We're going to find out where he's been, what he's been up to. Why don't you go ahead and start telling us, where have you been since our last interview?
Well, I believe that was January of last year when we interviewed last, and pretty much just training and trying to prepare for qualifying to get to London, the London Olympics. So I've been traveling, been at different places, training
What
and
kind of
competitions.
Where?
I was in Minnesota for like 3 months last summer, training with a buddy of mine, Jay Clark. He's a U.S. wrestler. And so I was there. I went to the World Championships in Turkey, Istanbul, and then a couple other competitions, around like Australia, different places, and training here in Hawaii. And then when I've been back home, I've been working with our ship hoops programs. So pretty much that's it, just training, traveling, and working.
Oh, okay. How confident are you in this next competition? Is there a next competition you're looking forward to?
Yeah, the next competition, my next big one is in March. It'll be March 16th to 18th. It'll take place in Morocco, Marrakesh, Morocco. It's the Africa Oceania Olympic qualifying tournament. So if it's basically all the African countries, all the Oceanic countries, and if you finish top 2 at that event in your weight class, then you qualify for the Olympics. So it's a tough competition. It'll be tough. My weight class has some very tough guys there's a guy from Australia who's real tough, and then the Egyptians are always real good. They had a couple world champions, and then there's a Tunisian guy. So there's like 3 or 4 guys in my weight class that are very tough. So it's a long shot, but I gotta give it a shot.
Okay. Do you know of any other Micronesians that are going to be a part of this competition, or are you the only one?
No, there's from FSM. I'll be the only one, but there's probably be a Marshallese, Waylon Mueller. He'll probably compete at 84 kilos freestyle. He's been around for a long time. And then Palau will have 2 or 3 guys. They have a 55 kilo Elgin Elwes, who's very good. He's probably been the top wrestler in the Oceania region for the last 5-6 years. He's a multiple-time gold medalist, Oceania gold medalist from Palau. And then they have a heavyweight, 120 kilo Palauan wrestler also, Florian Temingil, call him Ski. He'll be going to that competition as well. They're actually, both of them competed at the Beijing Games in 2008, so they'll be trying to make their second Olympic team this time around.
So you guys are all part of different weight classes, so you're not...
Yeah, there's no one really from the Micronesian region that's like sort of in my weight class that's at this level yet. We're all in different weight classes. The Palauan, they have a lightweight and a heavyweight, and the Marshallese, he's a weight class above me. And then Guam has a couple guys, but they're at different weight classes as well. They're I believe, a weight class below me. So we're all different categories, so which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah.
So where do you get your funding from all this traveling and all this stuff that you're doing?
It's a good question. That comes from the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, has scholarships or funding available that they give to a lot of small NOCs, small countries. So the FSM NOC, which the office is in Pohnpei, they were able to secure a grant, get some funding for athletes that they identified and wanted to help, prepare and try and qualify for the Olympic Games. So I was lucky enough to get one. I believe the girl from Pohnpei, a swimmer, Deborah Daniel, I believe she got one also, and Manuel Mingenfeld from the app, our weightlifter, who I believe he's already qualified for Olympics. I'm not positive, but I think he has. So the 3 of us are on the scholarships, and then so the money comes from the International Olympic Committee and funnels down into the ONOC, which is ONAC, the Oceania National Olympic Committee, and then it works its way to our NOC, which is the FSM NOC. So I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it comes from those 3 groups.
That's who you go to.
Yeah. So I've been very lucky. I mean, the NOC has been. I know I've been very blessed that they've decided to back me and help me with this funding that they got from the IOC.
So in the previous meeting with us, you talked about your methods of training. Has that changed over the time?
Well, a little bit. Not necessarily the methods, but where I've been training. I had been training, back home, but it was difficult, with the lack of partners and everything. So I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Minnesota, train with the teams out there, and Jay Clark, who's the 84 kilo USA wrestler, and he actually made a move to Hawaii, and he was looking for training partners, and he invited me to come up and sort of live and train and work with him, which was perfect because he's a weight class above me, so he's a little bit heavier than I am, but he's got so much experience. He's been wrestling since he was like 5-6 years old, so it's just a sort of a wealth of knowledge that I'm kind of being a sponge and trying to soak up as much as I can get. So I've been actually since I guess it would be August of last year. I've been based pretty much primarily in Hawaii. We've been doing our training camps over here, and then we bounce around to different competitions, whether it's Europe or back in the mainland. So that's pretty much what my regiment's been the past since August, is training camps here in Hawaii, and then going to different competitions, around.
So these training camps, these are with high school students?
No, these are our Greco-Roman training camps. In fact, like next month in March, we're going to bring in. Jake has a lot of contacts in the mainland, and he's bringing in some of his USA wrestling buddies, a couple guys that he's worked with in the past, and they'll be here for about a 4-week intense Greco-Roman training camp. So we'll do that periodically, but we also do pretty much train every day. We'll do our own little workouts. Me, him, and there's a couple other guys that come in also. So just technique and pushing on the mat, and sometimes we'll do like Coco Head. We usually do that once a week. So our routine is pretty much set, but it'll change every now and then depending on when competitions are and what events we need to peak for.
I guess that can lead to the next question. What else do you do? What do you do for fun besides training every day? And
well, here in Hawaii, there's a lot to do for fun. So go to the beach or just hang out. I get beat, so I just like to do a lot of TV watching. I like to watch basketball games and sports. So that's kind of what I do on my downtime. I read books too. But so when I'm training, that's pretty much it. When I'm at home, it's a little different. But since I'm away from home and I'm here, it's pretty much just train and then rest, recover, and
You take training as like an 8 to 5 kind of job thing?
Well, it's not 8 to 5, but yeah, we usually work out like twice, sometimes 3 times a day, depending on where we are in our workout sequence or whatever. So it varies, but definitely not 8 to 5.
Okay.
That would be a bit much.
Okay. All right, so we've talked about wrestling. And you briefly mentioned earlier about Ship Hoops. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Ship Hoops?
Okay, well, Ship Hoops is it's an NGO that my dad started back in the 80s, and he actually started when he was helping out at Xavier, and they did it's SHIP, which is what he started out with. It's called Society for Historic Investigation and Preservation, and they started it out so they could do used to have what was called senior town study projects. So fourth quarter of the year, the senior class would do like projects or whatever. So he started this NGO to do maritime archaeology with some of the Xavier students, and they would go out and map like certain historical sites or some of the shipwrecks. I mean, not shipwrecks, but airplanes and stuff that were sunken. So he started out doing things like that. Cultural awareness and historic preservation. And then later on, as I grew older, my brothers and sister grew older, and we got involved in sports. So we added the hoops, which is helping ourselves outreach programs in sports. So in those programs, we do a lot of clinics and sports with kids and youth, and involved in that is a lot of tobacco and alcohol awareness, youth issues. So we work a lot with a lot of at-risk youth. So it's and we use the sports to sort of like bring them into the programs and then work from there. So that's what Ship Hoops is kind of. And then over the years we've evolved into we do a lot of different things. Actually, one of the biggest things we've started is this year we opened what's called our Koikoi School, which is a center/school up in Peña, in Onwara and Chuk, and we're very proud of that. It's a very new programs, and we're working right now. We're working with about 15 to 20 kids, very young, 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, basically just trying to teach them English, and we were able to do this through grants from the Australian Embassy, Rotary International. So they allowed us to bring in a bunch of computers, books, a lot of software, a lot of teaching materials that allow us to work with the kids and try improve their education level. So the goal eventually is to try and build a school, but we're taking small steps. We want to do it right. We want to build it correctly from the bottom up. So which is why we're starting with the younger kids.
I see. All right. So how can anybody help out with this Ship Hoops organization?
Well, we do have a Facebook page for Ship Hoops, so it's SHIP/HOOPS. So if you want to go on there, maybe you can see pictures and a brief rundown of our programs and things that we're doing currently and things that we've done in the past. So you can contact us through there, or just browse the page if you want to. And for wrestling, for Chuk Wrestling, actually we're gonna start selling these shirts again probably next month. So if you're interested in buying a Chuk Wrestling shirt, you can contact us through the Ship Hoops page, and we'll give you the information from that. I know we did a round last year or 2 years ago, before the Micronesian Games, actually in Palau, and I see that Helen, she helped us out a lot. She sold a bunch of these shirts and she basically raised funds for us to send our Chuk Wrestling team to the Palau Micronesian Games in 2010. So we're gonna do another round of those shirts for future Chuk Wrestling and maybe FSM Wrestling fundraisings. So contact us through our Ship Hoops Facebook page.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Keitani, for your time. Is there anything else?
I guess I'd just like to say thank you to Fourth Branch. You guys are doing a great job of, I don't want to say exposing things, but showing things, and any exposure that we can get, not just in my area, but for Micronesians that are doing well is great. So keep it up, please. You're doing very well.
Thank you. Thank you to our viewers. Please feel free to check us on our website, check us on our Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube. Thank you.